Ah, puta que pariu. Alô, voltou? Boa tarde. Acho que voltou, hein? Voltou? Ah, fala sério. Ah, sério, esse OBS tá me tiltando. Segunda vez, cara, pelo amor de Deus. Todo dia é isso, bicho. Não preciso de companhia, não preciso de um ouvido amigo. É um assunto particular. Ahn,
You seem to me a good soul, Vicar. But this is a personal matter.
There are no secrets from God, my son. If your heart needs comfort, consider me your chapel. For I can be as silent as stone.
minhas palavras são para quem se foi. Deixar o assunto particular. É um assunto particular. Você é mais agressivo ou mais de boa? Ou falar sobre o que a gente quer falar mesmo. É um assunto particular, mas proteção para quem se foi. Tá, vamos tentar, vai. A gente veio aqui e vai. Não vai falar nada pro cara.
I've words for one departed. They're not for living ears to hear.
Your eyes burn with rage, yet I see the pain that lies beyond. I am here to lighten the burden of all God's creatures. Whatever you tell me is between us and the Lord.
Very well, priest. As you seem quite adamant.
Open your heart, my son. Tell me what burdens you. With whom do you wish to speak?
Cara, minha irmã, se dá apenas que eu amava, isso não me diz respeito.
Just know, I cared for her.
You seem so troubled by the loss of this girl. What happened to her?
O que foi, José? Porque você tá lambendo aí? Ela foi assassinada, foi um acidente, ela já repousa eternamente. Vamos dizer que ela foi um acidente. Ela foi assassinada. Ela já repousa
She has been
eternamente.
laid to rest. That's all you need to know.
I see. And how are you feeling, my son?
Sinto-me responsável, ela morreu por minha causa, gostaria de poder esquecer tudo isso.
I feel responsible. The pain is consuming me.
I have a final question for you, my son. This is of the utmost importance.
Ask your question, Vicar.
What would you like her to know?
Eu me acharam responsável, eu juro que não fui eu. Perdoe-me, por favor.
I killed you. There's no excuse. My dear Mary, forgive me.
You have been heard, my son, and your burden will lighten if your words are sincere. Go in peace now and live your life in the way she would have wanted.
Você ser gostoso. Ah, entendi. Oh, ah, tá.
Whatever happened on this dock is between my sister and I. It does not concern God at all.
Encontre Edgar no hospital. Por lá vai a gente voltar pra lá de novo. Por aqui. Chega, cara. O cara brincando com fogo. Você viu? Esse piromaníaco aí é foda, viu? Esse cara tá mexendo. Boa tarde. Pronto, fica quietinho aí. Não incomode mais. Alô? Ah, não. Ô, irmão. Calma.
Away with you! We have a killer!
Ai! Não. Irmão. Ai, caralho, filho da... Vem cá. Ai, ai. Esse ataque machuca, cara. Mais que os outros. Ai, ai, irmão.
I shall fear no evil.
Sai fora, cara. Nossa, odeio. Cara, que essa mira que esse lock aí de coisa é uma bosta, viu? Fica trocando. O cara veio com tudo. Tomou uma só, pra ficar esperto. Opa. É, aquele lá era forte, né? Agora não é mais. Era forte. Recuperar nossa vida 100%. Voltar pra lá.
Remorse and pain are precious when binding you to the earth. You. I remember you.
Ó o chifrudo.
Fear be gone. I would harm no child of my making.
This is your doing. You made me. Made me this creature. What are you?
I am the land. You are our champion.
Pare com enigmas. O que é você? Por que você me escolheu?
You selected me.
E aí, Belix, boa noite. Tudo bom?
As shall my children yet to come.
What is it you seek?
This age is sickly. An ancient poison, an older rage, brewed in a cauldron newly forged.
This has something to do with the epidemic.
Seek truth, my champion. Defeat the serpent of knowing with iron spur.
Entendi.
I've had enough of others making decisions for me, pretending to know how I should feel or behave. So the vampire who made me is some sort of disembodied entity? Or was he just projecting this vision in my mind? Maybe Edgar can help me with this one.
E aí, como é que tá, Bex? Tudo bom? Como foi seu dia? E voltamos novamente pra cá. Retornamos.
God protect us. You've got a leech in the hospital.
Yes, my hospital. My mission is to heal while you go about warring.
You've set the table for a snake. I wonder why there's venom in your food.
I'm growing tired of your song. You're a woodsman, McCallum, not a doctor. Return to your hunt.
Remember, I've a good nose for machinations. I can flare the scent at a mile. You can't hide from the god.
Leave him, Jonathan. This is sacred ground. Neutral territory. And I just had the carpet cleaned. By the sacred stole, this is very bad news. Bad news indeed.
Ah, que bom que você tá bem.
What happened?
The hospital has been attacked. We have injured patients, at least one dead and several missing. This has spiraled out of control. Even the most infirm are asking to be allowed to return home.
Eu tô bem. A confiança precisa ser recuperada, ninguém notará alguns copos a mais. Esse tempo pela sua reputação.
We cannot have the people lose faith in this institution. This hospital is their only hope.
Of course, you're right. But we cannot afford a public scandal. It would ruin us. We must restore order, and quickly.
You mentioned a dead patient. Who is he?
She, Jonathan. She was Miss Harriet Jones. I found her room like a slaughterhouse. Blood everywhere. The duty nurse is taking care of the mess.
Mas com minha ajuda não estou preparado para isso. Estou só única esperança outra vez.
Very well. I'll help you.
I know this place means something to you. I have noticed how you suppress your appetite when around the staff and patients.
You need to know you can trust me, Edgar.
I do, dear fellow, I do.
Please then, tell me.
Sean Hampton, the man we thought we'd saved at the docks. It seems he was infected after all.
So Hampton became more beast than man.
Exactly. And now Guard of Prewen suspects the hospital of vampire activity. Do you realize what that could mean for us?
Eles não atacarão porque todos vocês, eles não estão tão equivocados.
Rest assured, I will protect you and your staff.
McCallum is a fanatic. The Guard will stop at nothing. You don't know what they're capable of, Jonathan.
Very well. Since I brought Mr. Hampton here, I will put an end to this.
Sabe com a subjuguei de Sean Hampton.
Sean Hampton lives and breathes for the well-being of his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks.
Deixa eu só... Onde que era Harriet Jones, o quarto dela? Quero dar uma olhada. Ah.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening.
What can you tell me about the recent events in the hospital?
That Mr. Hampton killed Miss Jones in her room, then ran away.
And did you see all this?
No. I was working by the tents when it all happened. I only entered the room when they asked me to clean up the blood.
Está o corpo da senhora Jones, senhorita Jones.
Did you see Sean Hampton leave the hospital?
I think I saw a silhouette exiting the hospital gates after the shouting started. At first I thought it was someone who was just scared, but... well, maybe it was him.
Where is Miss Jones's body?
I don't know. I'd imagine the morgue. It all happened so quickly.
Goodbye, nurse.
Só isso que eu
Call
queria
me
saber.
if you need assistance.
I wish I could be sick again.
Deixa eu ver o que eu tenho de remédio aqui pro pessoal. Pneumonia, anemia, fadiga, sepsis por um kit.
My blood boil with the fever.
Acho que ela tá com fadiga, né, essa senhora aqui.
Good evening.
Do you require med...
I will be...
Dar remédio.
Nurse.
I'll try, Dr. Reed.
Então,
Goodbye, nurse.
como é que tá o pessoal daqui? Deixa eu ver aqui, né? Fadiga, anemia. Meu Deus, tem de coisa. Pessoal cansado. Cefaleia, anemia, resfriado, enxaqueca.
What on earth happened here?
Good evening, sir.
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
How close are you to Miss Hallcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
Se permite que ela mordesse ou tem problemas mentais.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
Entendi.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Sabe o que posso fazer? Quem está tratando você?
Who's treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Aconteceu de verdade.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen. Dead drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
A cirurgia pode ajudar, beleza não é tudo, você não pode se esconder para sempre.
Reconstructive surgery has been very successful for some soldiers.
I don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of my life. I'd rather stay here and just be forgotten.
Tá bom? Tu sabe, cara.
Can you tell me anything about recent events at the hospital?
Before the shouts and the noises, I think I heard whispers coming from the stairs. 2 voices, maybe more.
Did you recognize the voices? What did they say?
I couldn't hear. Sounded like they were arguing or something.
Goodbye for now.
Fear and disgust on every street corner. The daily routine.
Tem resfriado? Meia resfriado tenho. Fadiga.
Good evening.
Good evening, Doc.
Admit it. Nurse Hawkins is more than your lover. She's also your partner in crime.
Of course she is. How else could I tell which bed is free? I need to know that.
Have you no shame?
Don't you see this city is crumbling down? Today, people are ready to pay to get a hospital bed. Tomorrow, we may be fighting for food.
Do you know that Nurse Hawkins is thinking of leaving the hospital?
That's not a surprise. We've talked about it already.
Does it not bother you?
Sometimes I think she may be right. We should run away while we can. Question is, where can we go? Where is it safe?
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Um minuto, gente. Voltei.
What can you tell me about the recent commotion in the hospital?
Someone killed Miss Jones in her room, and Mr. Hampton's gone missing. Doesn't take a genius to piece it together.
You don't seem shocked by any of this.
Why should I be? Whoever did this must be long gone by now. And besides, you got rid of the old bag.
Do you need any
I'm afraid...
Our job brings us into contact with all kinds of infections, Milton. There's no shame in being ill while you're in a hospital.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. I get the feeling you don't fall sick often. Well, thanks, anyway.
Goodbye, Milton.
Anemia. Quem mais tá meio ruim das pernas aqui? Você medicado, medicada, resfriado, enxaqueca, fadiga, anemia. Tá com anemia. Deixa eu tentar criar mais remédio lá em cima. Enxaqueca, cefaleia e nevralgia. Vou tratar mais de um pessoal aqui. Fadiga, anemia, cefaleia, fadiga. Fazer muito remédio para fadiga. Todo mundo cansado. Acho que 6 deve bastar. Resfriado. Rita Hawkins está resfriada.
Good evening.
Good evening, Doc.
Do you need...
I'm afraid I...
Not under my watch, nurse. Take this.
Thank you.
What can you tell me about the recent commotion in the hospital?
Everybody's afraid. Death has always been a frequent visitor. But murder? How can we cope with that?
As a nurse at this hospital, it is your duty to deal with these things as best you can.
Yeah. Until it's my turn to have blood spread all over the walls. I entered the room first, Dr. Reed. I've seen what that monster did to the woman.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Quem mais está precisando de remédio aqui? Anemia. Thomas Elwood. Thomas, vou te dar um remedinho. Vou te dar um remedinho, parceirinho.
Good evening, Mr.
Evening.
Soldier.
Not real.
Toma remédio.
As long as
Don't think you can do.
Cure 10 cidadãos.
Goodbye for now.
Quem mais precisa de um remedinho? Quem mais precisa de remedinho? Você fala, eu não tenho cura pra isso ainda não, senhora. Vou ficar devendo. Fadiga. Rakesh Chadana. Eu tô com anemia aqui. Calma aí. Cefaleia. Anemia. Harvey Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Pelos pessoais. Você se sente culpado pela sua lesão.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
Sua esposa morreu por sua causa e feriu propositalmente.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Sua esposa morreu por sua causa.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Caralho, pesado. Essa morte de esposa.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army, building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
Elas morreram trabalhistas, seus filhos estão bem?
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
Please, tell me about the recent commotion in the hospital.
I heard Miss Jones call for help from her bedroom. There were some loud noises, like people fighting. All of a sudden, it went quiet. And then a nurse started screaming.
Do you know who the nurse was?
Not sure, but I think it was Nurse Hawkins.
Is there anything...
Really?
Vamos lá.
Unfortunately, you...
Perhaps you...
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fitt.
I will not let you down.
Quem mais está doente? Os dois estão fadigados. Ó, tem remédio pra vocês dois, tá?
Good evening.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured, you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
Do you need any...
I'm afraid I'm...
não tem.
I have to go now, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Ele precisa... Fadiga. Eu não tinha feito um monte? É possível que acabou. Ah, eu tenho.
Doctor.
Good evening, Doctor.
Então, eu tenho um remédio, mas não tá deixando eu dar o remédio pro cara. Não tem nenhuma pista.
What can you tell me about the recent commotion in the hospital?
It's a disgrace. How on earth can patients be attacked in their own rooms?
Né, pelo menos pra mim, nem aqui eu tava.
Medical attention as well, Mrs. Goswick.
Do you know you're the only one who's asked me this?
Despite what you think about this place, I can tell you without...
Well, at least your reputation seems...
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
É a fadiga que você tem, cara? O que é que você tem?
Good evening.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Do you need any...
I'm afraid...
Fadiga.
You are not a...
And you have my...
Ah, tá.
I have to go now.
Pronto. Deu remédio pra ele.
Time with me.
Você... Fadiga, tá cansado também, né, cara?
I'm quite busy right now.
Eu tô ocupado aqui.
Do you think Dr. Strickland has any chance of curing the Spanish flu by himself?
His wish to cure the sick is not driven by pride, but by an idealistic view about our mission here. Honestly, I don't know which is worse.
You consider him a good practitioner, yet you will not report his methods.
Strickland may be a rival, but I will not use dirty tricks or regulations to prove him wrong. We are doctors, not politicians.
We are doctors, not politicians.
Don't be ridiculous.
Toma, bebe isso aqui.
I wish this hospital could have...
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
Você tá cego para sua rivalidade? Por que quer fazer essa cirurgia?
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
Estou confiando em você, você assumirá as consequências ao ponto de vista conservador.
Other people may say that's too conservative a point of view.
Conservative? And what are you going to say to Mr. Fiddick if he loses his arm because of the operation? Because that's what's going to happen if the surgery is a failure.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Será que não? Sei não, cara, acho que eu discordo disso.
What can you tell me about the recent commotion in the hospital?
Nothing like this would have happened if we'd had enough staff and proper shifts.
So you don't think the blame is ours?
We all hold fast here, Dr. Reed. Our methods may differ, but we are all trying to make a difference.
Thank you for...
E mais, recuperação. Não tenho cura pra isso. Não deu remédio pra isso ainda. Quem mais precisando de remedinho? Oh! Que grito foi esse, cara? Pelo amor de Deus. Ô, doutor.
Good evening.
Doutor. Nenhuma pista.
Do you need medical proxy?
Vamos.
And that... Can you tell me anything about recent events in the...
Oh, goodness me. This whole story is such a shame, sir. I have no idea how it happened.
What are you talking about?
Poor Miss Jones. Her body is missing. Someone stole it.
O corpo desapareceu?
Miss Jones's body has gone missing.
Yes. The body was brought here this morning, and now it's gone.
Quem poderia ter feito isso?
Stolen a corpse? That's exactly what I asked myself for the whole day. Who could do such a thing? These are terrible and shameful times, Dr. Reed.
Entendi.
Goodbye, Mr.
It never ceases to
Deixa eu ver.
how you, the dead.
Venderam um corpo. Olha, eu não duvido, viu? Deixa eu ver, então vocês já estão curando. Você tá. Eu não tenho cura pra isso. Tratamento pra isso não tenho. Recuperação. Não tenho. Enxaqueca. Não tenho também. Ou tenho. Deixa eu ver se eu tenho como fazer tratamento pra enxaqueca. Não tenho. Tá, a maioria já está sendo tratado. Vamos lá agora no objetivo. A gente vai no objetivo. Pra cá? Isso pra cá. Eu tratei a maioria aqui. Vou esperar eles... o tratamento fazer efeito. Vendendo o corpo pra tirar os órgãos e pá. Vendendo no mercado negro. Dá um dinheirinho bom, hein? Não que eu faça isso, né? Pelo amor de Deus, que é isso, Twitch? Só é meio que senso comum já.
It seems the Freewen are redoubling their patrols in the district. I must be more careful.
É tu mesmo, cara. Ai, calma, cara. Ô, 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 ô. Calmou. Segura a emoção.
God walks with me.
Me dá seu sangue. Não. Não.
The power of the Lord commands you.
Para, cara. Que chato, irmão. Eles falam que você é chato? Caramba, é como dizem, Jesus tem um poder. Tropeçou, irmão? Dá seu sangue aí. Tô precisando de sangue. Pronto, obrigado. É pra cá? Deixa eu ver se é pra cá. Deixa eu ver aqui. Qual que é o zoom? É pra cá. Vai seguir passar por aqui. Passar por aqui, né? Pro outro lado. Por aqui, ó. Pra ir pras docas. A gente segue aqui, vira aqui. A gente vai parar nas docas. Pega meu sangue, Asmish. Giorno. Is dead. Já foi. Já vai, já vai. Ô, ô, ô. Não, irmão. Ó o primo aqui, ó. Suga ele. Acabou a estamina. Oh, Christ. Oh, Christ. Oi, eu disse algo? Não sei, eu disse? Ah, não sabe. Entendi, Jordan, entendi. A gente tá chegando? A gente tá chegando. Destrancamos a porta para as docas. Doca Limehouse. O que é isso aqui? Boa tarde. Carta de apresentação. Olá, Frank. Como vai, meu velho amigo? Foi bom te ver semana passada. Da próxima vez, deixa eu fazer as honras. Espero que esteja tudo bem aí no seu canto da cidade. Aqui no meu velho bairro a situação está cada vez pior. Clay está ficando cada vez mais violento e só pensa em expandir os negócios, mesmo em cada mesmo cada vez mais concorrentes tenham aparecido para disputar o território. Infelizmente, os botineiros estão em uma enrascada. Eu me lembrei do que você disse da última vez em que nos encontramos, que nunca se arrependeu de sair da gangue. Você disse que a única coisa de que se arrependeria era de não poder voltar a Exchange. Caso contrário, ia levar uma boa surra ou algo pior. Bom, mas eu te garanto, se você quiser vir, ficará sob minha proteção. Quem sabe a gente pode até conversar sobre umas novas oportunidades, talvez um emprego. Você sabe que eu sempre fui bom com números, então se você estiver precisando de um contador na sua empresa, podemos conversar, não é? Diga que mandei um olá para sua esposa. Uma vez botineiro, sempre botineiro, meu velho amigo. Boff Digby. Buff Digby. Ih, ó o Buff Digby, mano. O cara tem um bigodinho. Tem uma bigoda. De escovinha. É tu mesmo, parceiro. É tu, Buff Digby?
Good evening, sir.
Who the fuck are you? Don't you see I'm busy here?
Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm busy here.
And who are you?
Ah, some fancy gentleman we've got here. Clear off. We don't want strangers on our streets.
So you won't tell me your name, then?
The name is Booth Digby. Maybe I'll ask my boys to break one or two of your bones, just so you remember it.
Ah, manda vir aqui. Eu arrebento eles tudo em dois, seu bosta. Você é um justiceiro sobre sua parte da cidade.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
Things ain't that bad, thanks to us. We give people what they need, and we control this borough.
Well, you're not doing a very good job. People are still dying here like everywhere else.
Yeah, well, we can't be everywhere all the time. And Edwina says if we can find more guns, we could be more efficient.
More efficient? Really? You should probably tell Edwina that guns are useless against diseases and infections.
Incredible. You know what? You're lucky she can't hear you right now. She's more smart than patient. My sweet queen of the docks.
É justiceiro?
Are you some kind of vigilante patrolling these streets at night?
Something like that, but the police aren't in charge here. We are, see?
Qual é a sua gangue? Mas você é um criminoso consciente?
Tell me about your gang, then.
What? Have you got a death wish? You really want me to answer that?
Well, yes. You seem so proud of your status. Why not tell me who you're working for?
Oi! I'm the boss, all right? The Wet Boot Boys work for me. All of them. Situation round here is better than other districts because of us. Because of me.
Ah, tá.
So you're a concerned criminal, is that it?
Using funny jokes about me and my boys, are you? Fuck. You must have some balls.
I saw many men like you during the war, Mr. Digby. Greedy little cockroaches who feed on despair.
I could kill you for saying that. But, nah. You've been a soldier. I can respect that.
Está cansado da vida do crime.
I know you're looking for an honest job, Booth. You're tired of this criminal life, aren't you?
It's just an idea. Edwina loves to run things so much. You can never really leave the gang. Wet boys for life, you know?
Red Boys for Life.
Do you know where I can find Sean Hampton? I need to talk to him.
The sad saint. Why on earth do you want to talk to him?
He was one of my patients at the Pembroke Hospital.
Oh, yeah. I heard the poor bastard had been abducted by some cunt. You better ask Tom Watts. He knows Sean Hampton well.
Tá bom.
Goodbye, Mr. Dick.
Falou. Senhor Digby. Tá. Pro outro lado. Digby Cox.
Good evening, miss. I am Dr. Reed. May I ask you a few questions?
Who are you? What do you want?
As I just told you, I'm a doctor. From the Pembroke Hospital, actually.
The Pembroke Hospital, you say? I ain't paying any bill left by Clay.
I'm not here to collect payment, miss.
Miss Edwina Cox. So what do you want then? Fancy buying something from me, maybe?
What can you tell me about this part of town?
You can't trust anyone around here. As soon as you lower your guard, you can be sure some arsehole will take advantage of you.
Você tá falando de alguém específico ou você tá mensagando um pouco?
You sound like you're thinking of somebody in particular.
Take the grave diggers of Southwark. They must pay me every week, but it looks like they forgot who gave them permission to steal from the dead.
Looting corpses in a mass grave. That is a new low.
Whatever. Hey, since you're a doctor and all, maybe you can access that forbidden area and remind those bastards what they owe.
Você está gerando um pouco.
Really? Don't you think that's a little bit excessive?
Bastards, all of them. This region only responds to violence and threats.
Entendi. Como seu trabalho?
Tell me about your work.
I'm a businesswoman. I buy and sell things, and I send my wet boot boys after anyone who don't play nice with me.
Gang member and shopkeeper. Can't be easy running double shifts.
If you're interested, I may find use of a doctor who can freely walk across the city, you know.
Você é uma mulher implacável. Não estou nem um pouco interessado.
You're quite blunt, aren't you?
I like people who know what they want and say what they think. This is a time of great opportunity for those ready to embrace their destiny.
Não estou nem um pouco
I'm not
interessado.
interested in a career in the criminal underworld, Miss Cox.
Fair enough. Stay away from us then, if you don't want to get hurt or worse.
Since my return from the war, I don't feel
coitado.
that concerned by threats, knives, or even bullets, if you must know.
That's exactly what that stupid trade unionist claimed after he attacked one of us. Booth and I reminded him a bullet beats words every time.
You still use your husband's name, Edwina. Why is that?
Why shouldn't I? He may be a bloody bastard, but I'm still his wife and his name means something round here.
You never paid him a visit at the Pembroke Hospital, did you?
And I don't intend to. In Clay's case, I'm not against a medical mistake or a little help from the Spanish flu.
Booth Digby looks at you with love-struck eyes. Tell me, Edwina, is the feeling mutual?
You have no idea how refreshing it can be for a woman to receive all the pleasure she needs. For once.
I'll take your word for it.
What is it, Doctor? A woman's not supposed to talk about these things.
Olha, não fico chocada facilmente. Acho que você o manipulou.
I'm not that easily shocked, Miss Cox. You can speak freely about your lover if you so wish.
The poor bastard is good to me, if you must know. He makes me feel good. And that's a first.
So you're just like any other couple, after all, are you not?
Yeah, we're so ordinary that I'd put a bullet in his head if he ever cheated on me.
Tell me about the man you and Booth killed, Edwina.
The bastard killed one of us and received retribution. There's nothing else to say.
Tem peso na consciência?
And your conscience is clear. You kill without hesitation.
Violence is an efficient tool, Dr. Reed, when used properly.
So you decide who lives and who dies, just like that.
Yes, Doctor. Just like that. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm saying it's my way of dealing with troublemakers.
What happened exactly?
I don't know, and I don't care. One of ours was killed by that communist bastard, but he didn't brag for long.
So you have no idea what really happened, but you executed him anyway.
No one messes with the wet boot boys, Doctor. This is our territory, and this is our law.
Entendi.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
The sad saint? I heard he was mugged or something.
Yes, he was. But he left hospital recently.
You don't say. Well, I suppose it's good news for the homeless and the useless. Ask them, they must know something.
Goodbye, Miss Cox.
Cada tá me jogando pra
Then the gangs, the epidemics, everyone's throwing the blame.
Cada tá me jogando pra outro. Sabrina, Cavendish.
These murders are the work of a vampire.
A vampire? Whatever do you mean?
He I'm a tracker of these creatures. A vampire hunter.
You best be off to your hunting then. For if the sewer dog is back, I'm hunting all these poor folk. He needs a
Maluco.
Good evening, sir.
Whatever.
Don't you recognize me? We met a few nights ago.
Don't take it personally. I spent a lot of energy forgetting what I did the night before.
Yes, you had definitely drunk too much then as well. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm Dyson Delaney. I'll try to remember you. This time.
Não tinha sonhos quando era mais jovem. Esse cara tá chapadaço, mano.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
Eu? Por quê?
I love this neighborhood.
Falando para o chapado, oxe.
So joyful.
Como assim? Porque tanto cinismo não tem noite pra ter alegria?
Why are you so cynical?
Cynicism
É brincadeira, sei.
despair, Doctor.
No reason at all to rejoice, then. Life is hopeless and then we die, is that it?
Let me tell you a story.
Pois bem, conte.
All right. Go on.
A few years ago, when I believed a resolute man could change things around here for good, a tragedy occurred nearby.
What kind of tragedy?
It was a
Gente, eu tô ouvindo um bêbado contar a história. Pelo amor de Deus, a que ponto chegamos?
metal and blood everywhere. Shouts, fire, broken window of the shoe shop, the torn street light.
You lost people you loved that day, didn't you?
I've lost everything. But you know what the worst part is? I don't even remember where it happened. I've drunk so much to forget it. Now I can't remember where it was. I can't pay my homage to the dead.
I'm sorry, Mr. Delaney.
It's okay. If you ever find the place, just leave a flower for me there. Even if you tell me where it is. I'm not sure I'd memorize it.
Que foi, Speed? Por que tu assustou? Alguma olhada nesse distrito?
Anything in particular that you like?
Às vezes quando fizer isso, me deu um susto também. Que isso, gente?
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood.
Nem ficou tão alto assim.
So joyful.
Nenhum motivo pra ter alegria.
No reason at all to rejoice, then. Life is hopeless and then we die, is that it?
Let me tell you a story.
Outra hora. Ah, de novo isso aí, cara. Não. Você me contou a história.
Another time.
Ah, o que faz da vida?
What do you do for a living, Mr.
Bebe, enche a cara.
I drink. I drink in the morning and at noon.
Ah, eu sabia.
At night. And then I drink some more.
Por que bebe tanto? Você não trabalha?
Don't you work at all?
I'd love to, but I don't have the time. Didn't I tell you? Drink in the morning and at noon. I drink at night.
Por que bebe tanto?
Why do you drink so much?
Maybe it's because I prefer dying slowly. Death can be so abrupt. Personally, I like to see mine coming at my own pace.
You sound very sad, sir.
That's because I am Doc.
Surely you must have had
Como eu tenho tanto dinheiro pra beber então.
when you were young.
Bem, me pergunta, Diurno, como?
Sure. I wanted things to change. To really change. And to change for good. The bigger the dream, the harder the fall.
O mundo é mesmo tão ruim, então você era um idealista.
Sounds like you were an idealist, which is honorable.
No, sir. I was an anarchist and I believed that exclusive property is a robbery in nature. I wanted a new world to rise from the ashes, Dr. Reed.
O mundo é
Do you really
mesmo tão
think the
ruim?
world is that bad?
No, I believe we all can choose to make it better. But most of us are too weak, too corrupt and too guilty. I failed for sure, but others will come.
Conte-me sobre sua juventude anarquista.
I want to know more about your past as an anarchist, Dyson.
I'm still an anarchist, Doctor, make no mistake. I just reject violence as a tool to change the world, unlike my comrades.
Ainda vê seus camaradas? Você acredita em uma revolução pacífica?
Do you still see your comrades, then?
Comrades.
You don't agree with their methods anymore, I mean.
No. I hope they'll come to share my point of view one day. I'll raise my glass to that splendid idea.
Do you believe in a bloodless revolution, then?
I do not believe in much anymore, Doctor. But I'll admit I like your idea of peaceful change. I like it a lot.
Uhum. Entendi, cara.
Inebriation aside.
Yes.
Vamos.
Take this.
Hey, Doc, you don't really want me to stop the only remedy I can...
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
I really don't know. I heard he'd been abducted. I don't know if he's back.
Who could tell me then?
About the sad saint. I'll try asking Tom what's about him.
Goodbye, Mr.
Fala com tal cara. Fala com tal cara. Pelo amor de Deus, ninguém sabe onde tá o maluco. Quem é você, irmão? Deixa eu só olhar o cadáver aqui, posso?
Not a drop of blood left in his body. This is the work of a vampire.
Good evening, sir. Have you witnessed any suspicious activity or strange events recently?
And what do you define as a strange event? More to the point, who are you?
My name is Ichabod Throgmorton, vampire hunter extraordinaire and warden of the East End.
A vampire hunter? Really?
I know what you're thinking. I'm just another lunatic howling at the moon.
Louco de pedra.
The bloodsuckers exist, and they're close.
Mr. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'd like to hear more about these vampires you're hunting.
A man of science? Well, I'll be glad to enlighten you.
Vamos ver o que a gente vai falar contigo sobre o seu trabalho.
So, how exactly are you protecting these people? I'm curious.
I patrol late at night, investigating anything unusual. I try and encourage people to stay indoors, but people are careless.
Alguém reparou que a dublagem do cara, que o dublador é o mesmo do médico ali agora? Do nada mudou? Daquele médico que a gente tá no hospital? O dono do hospital lá? Tu não reparou? É a mesma voz agora, tipo... Antes era um, agora é outro. Ei, ai.
Can I help in any way?
Actually, yes. I plan to put up posters to alert the population to the vampire.
Are you asking me to paste posters about vampires around the docks?
If you wouldn't mind. If you did that, then I can focus on my patrols.
Ah, não, eles não fizeram isso. Do nada mudou a voz do cara.
How do you identify a vampire?
It's simple, really. They can't stand daylight.
Eu não estou tancando mesmo.
Holy symbols. They also cannot enter a house without being invited.
Have you ever killed one of these creatures? Yourself, I mean.
Of course I have. What kind of question is that? It's a dirty business, believe me.
Ou então, o que pode ter acontecido? Eu acho que essa fala já foi usada por aquele médico lá atrás, lá no começo do jogo. O que eles fizeram? Eles só pegaram essa dublagem gravada e colocaram aqui nesse personagem pra cortar custo, digamos assim, com o dublador. Porque, tipo, é uma outra explicação. Ou aconteceu alguma outra coisa no momento de dublar com outro dublador, que aí teve que substituir.
What can you tell me about this neighborhood?
Did you hear about what happened to Jack Gillingham? Poor boy. It's a shame I wasn't around to protect him.
It's impossible to protect everyone. The violence seems endemic in this part of town.
But it's my duty. I am convinced Jack Gillingham was killed by a vampire. These evil rodents are spreading like a plague.
Ah.
Have you heard of the Guard of Priwen?
Of course. They're dedicated hunters. A little militant for my taste, but they do let anyone join.
Quer entrar pra guarda ou você caça sozinho?
So you hunt alone? That sounds risky.
Vampires are just like every other predator. They hunt when they're hungry and follow certain patterns. It's just a matter of observation and patience.
Quer entrar pra guarda?
Were you ever tempted to join the Guard yourself?
I did think about it, but I'm more of a silent hunter. They're more of a sanitary militia.
Entendi.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me, Mr. Throgmorton?
The sad saint? He should be at his night asylum at this hour, but I cannot tell you how to find it, sorry.
Really? Why is that?
It's nothing personal, Doctor. I'm sure your intentions are good, but people who sleep there, they have plenty of reasons to hide.
Respeito o
I
posicionamento.
can't make you tell me, but I respect your refusal. You really believe Sean is a saint, don't you?
All I will say is this. Gossip has it that when he was a child, he was molested.
Ah,
By a
tá.
priest of all people. Funny thing is, though, it only strengthened his faith.
Entendi.
Maybe at least you can tell me who could help me find him.
Tell you what, go and chat with Tom Watts. He's a bartender and good judge of character. If he talks to you, then it's fine by me.
Tá bom?
Goodbye.
Não tá doente? Não. Bom, Watts está saudável, saudável. Se recuperando.
Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir. How are you tonight? Back to the docks, are we?
You remember me then?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my bar a few nights ago.
Thank you for your hospitality. I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way.
I'm still Tom Watts. Welcome back, Doctor.
Como consegue manter este lugar aberto?
How is it you can keep this place open? This part of town doesn't seem particularly safe.
Well, since everybody needs a drink, my pub is considered neutral ground by most groups.
Você é algum figurão?
You're something of a figurehead around here.
I'm only pouring alcohol for everyone to forget their troubles. Sean Hampton is the one giving them long-term hope.
Pontos de vista diferentes.
I see. So you get pressure from all sides about how this place should be run, do you?
Well, something like that. Nothing that a few wise words and a bottle of gin can't solve.
Posso ajudar em alguma coisa?
Since I'm here, is there anything I can do?
Well, perhaps, Doctor. Peace partly depends on my stock of gin. With the epidemic, my supplies are running low.
How could a physician help you in this matter?
I have a small warehouse just past the quarantine line. Perhaps, with you being a doctor, you could go there and come back?
Doctors aren't immune to disease, you know. Very well. Show me where it is. I'll see what I can do.
Oh, thank you, sir. Here's the key to get in. You're about to save many dry throats.
Check the armazém.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
It's not that bad. Thanks to people like the sad saint of the East End.
Who?
Sean Hampton, our own private holy figure. Few are foolish enough to make peace with the gangs. Sean is one of them.
Pista.
Tom, I need to find Sean Hampton as quickly as possible. I've been told you could help me.
I heard the sad saint was recovering at Pembroke Hospital. Did he leave or something?
Ele voltou para o rebanho dele, precisa encontrá-lo rápido.
I believe he returned to his flock. Can you confirm that?
Oh, I bet you're right. Sean can't help but worry about the poor and sick. Oh, I guess it has something to do with what happened to him as a baby.
Please, tell me.
Well, I don't like to gossip, but I heard that the sad saint was abandoned as a baby in front of a Catholic orphanage in Dublin. That would explain his faith and need to help everyone.
The important thing is I find him, quickly.
Why not try his night asylum? He takes care of those who need a meal or a roof there.
Where is it?
It's in an old warehouse, northwest of here. Just follow the bank to the west and go north when you reach the end of the pier.
Valeu, cara.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
Conseguimos o local.
Are they stupid or something? I've never even been to.
So few clients. What with the epidemic, no one dares go out.
The sewer dog's fault, they say. Then the gang, the epidemics, everyone's throwing the blame.
Mia. Fadiga. Subir 1.400. Não vou pegar isso ainda. Não tô dando assim, então acho que eu nem vou pegar. Curei quase todo mundo. Que isso, olha só. Meu amigo, saudável. Só que, ó, o cara com fadiga, o outro com cefaleia. Esse aqui já tá... eu não conheço o resto do povo, então aqui ainda vai demorar um pouquinho. As docas. Ih, o povo aqui vai morrer. Resfriado, bronquite, pneumonia, resfriado. Caralho. Fadiga. Vocês estão fodidos, meu parceiro. Tá fazendo a rota bonzinha? Mais ou menos, Spear. Até agora eu não abracei nenhum sobrevivente, né? Um tipo cidadão, no caso. Pneumonia, mudança de pneu? Ah, não sei, Jordan. Será que é? Mas esse distrito aqui tá fudido por causa que ela desapareceu, né? E ela era o pilar. Eu fiz ela parar de fazer as coisas. Aí eu tenho que agora cuidar do pessoal aqui, ó. Esse cara tá cansado. Esse aqui tá quase mortinho. Tipo, tá com 3 de infecção aqui. Tem que... eu não tenho tratamento pra algumas coisas que ainda não aprendi. Esse aqui ainda não... esse aqui tá estável. O West End. O padre a gente mata. Ah, com certeza. O padre... esse padre aqui vai de vasco. Vai de arrasta. Mas assim que eu tiver nível 5 de enfeitiçar, eu vou lá assim, ó. Brau. Se ele não morrer antes, né? Se ele não morrer antes. Mas, gente, eu vou fechar por aqui, 20 minutinhos mais cedo, eu tô cansado, eu tenho que jantar. Como a gente pega nível de enfeitiçar, avançando, progredindo na história. Aí você vai ganhando, vai ficando mais forte, fazendo as missões principais, as histórias, as tarefas principais. Aí você vai avançando e vai subindo o seu nível. Que, tipo, quando a gente encontrou a Dorothy lá, subiu pro nível 2. Aí depois vai 3, 4, aí vai avançando e vai subindo. Então, acho que vai levar um tempinho ainda. Mas boa noite, Speed, boa noite, Diurno. Fiquem bem, bom descanso. Amanhã vai ter R4. Terminar a campanha da Ada. Aí vai sobrar tempo, eu imagino. E eu não sei o que a gente vai fazer depois disso. Mas aí, se a gente vê amanhã. É isso, valeu pela presença, pela companhia. Boa noite. Eu estou indo nessa. Vamos só pôr uma musiquinha aqui, só pra fechar com uma musiquinha de boas. Eu ainda vou ter que juntar as partes disso daqui, porque o OBS ficou com doce, né? Então, a gente vai ter que depois ter que juntar essas partes aqui, se eu for querer jogar pro YouTube. Mas é isso. Eu estou indo. Eu espero a música começar, pelo amor de Deus. Uma boa noite. Tchau, tchau. Bom descanso. Eu estou indo agora de verdade. Fui.